The U.S. and Iran have reached a peace deal to end their war, paving the way for the Strait of Hormuz to reopen.
And the key mediator, Pakistan, made this announcement. The Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says that the signing ceremony will be held this Friday, and that's in Switzerland. And it'll take place after a series of meetings facilitated by mediators.
Revealing the deal on X, Mr. Sharif says both sides have declared the immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts. This includes in Lebanon. Now, Iran sees the inclusion as critical to the peace deal.
And President Trump says the deal is now complete. He's authorized the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz, expected on Friday after the signing, and the lifting of the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports. And he says, quote, "Start your engines, let the oil flow." Mr. Trump last week said the upcoming deal would be an MOU that would lead to a final agreement.
Iran's deputy foreign minister warns the MOU doesn't mean Tehran trusts its so-called enemy. He has threatened measures if there were breaches. He said Iran didn't agree to the MOU until its final demands were included in the text. He says talks for a final agreement will be held over 60 days.
And prospects for a deal seemed uncertain just hours earlier. Israel had struck what it said were Hezbollah targets in Beirut, killing 3 people, and the IDF said it was responding to militant attacks on northern Israel. And Iran, which backs Hezbollah, threatened retaliation, accusing the U.S. of lacking the will to fulfill its commitment.
Alistair D'Souza is tracking developments for CNA. He joins us from Washington, D.C. with the very latest. Alistair, so Pakistan's prime minister may have announced a deal between the U.S. and Iran, but President Trump revealed some of the details in an interview with the Wall Street Journal. What more can you tell us, and what would it take to progress it to a final peace agreement?
Right, President Trump telling the Wall Street Journal, describing the agreement as a major step toward ending the nearly 4-month conflict. Now, under the terms Trump described, Iran would agree not to obtain nuclear weapons and that Strait of Hormuz would reopen immediately. But Trump says there's no rush on removing nuclear material from Iran. He told the Journal that can wait a month or two, in fact, calling that nuclear material harmless. Remember, the nuclear program was the very reason why Trump went to war with Iran. Now, Trump also says that Iran won't get cash as part of the deal, but sanctions could be lifted depending on, quote, how they behave, unquote. Now, Trump played down concerns about regime change in Iran, calling this round of Iranian negotiators, quote, these negotiations, quote, the most rational group yet. Now, President Trump also on social media, taking to social media, saying we are to see the opening of the Strait of Hormuz and immediate removal of that U.S. naval blockade. But Iran's Fars news agency saying that it has been decided that the maritime traffic through the Gulf will be regulated by Iran in coordination with Oman. So it really remains to be seen how that plays out, right, for those ships in the Strait of Hormuz.
And Alistair, there's the other factor, which is Israel. So is President Trump at all concerned that Israel could potentially derail this deal, given what happened over the weekend?
But the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has repeatedly threatened to derail peace, and going forward, it's likely to remain one of the key issues that would really put this ceasefire in jeopardy. Take, for instance, Sunday strikes by Israel on the outskirts of the Lebanese capital, Beirut. Trump appeared to be taken unawares. Trump, in fact, telling Axios, a news website here in the U.S., that he was shocked when he was briefed about those Israeli strikes. He told Axios, quote, "Why did Bibi have to do this?" using a swear word, showing how furious really Trump was. And on a call with the Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu, Trump is said to have told Netanyahu that he has no judgment, once again throwing in a swear word. So he was really upset about this whole thing, worried that this signing or this peace deal would not come through, a ceasefire extension. Now, Tehran has repeatedly said that an end to the Israeli attacks on Iran's proxy Hezbollah is something that is a must-have if there needs to be lasting peace in the region. Remember, Israel is not party, has not been party to the Iran-US peace deal, and Israel's Prime Minister has clearly, over the past few months and weeks, been quite unhappy about the fact that Trump had called him to step back on Israel's military operations on Hezbollah in Lebanon. So you can see how this could actually likely flare up in the weeks ahead.
Okay, Alistair, thank you very much for that update. Alistair D'Souza reporting for CNA from Washington, D.C.